by Bud Anderson, the official heating and Heart Hospital, dedicated to your heart by Shelter Insurance. For award-winning service, find an agent near you at shelterinsurance.com.
This is Hog Reaction. Our exclusive coverage of the 2025 Fayetteville Super Regionals is brought to you by ASU Mountain Home, First Star Bank, and by State Farm Insurance agent Heath Roberts.
By Fouch, 2-2 pitch. He struck him out swinging. Omaha for the Razorbacks in 2025. Back where they belong. The Hogs vanquish the Volunteers. Do you believe? The Razorbacks are headed to the College World Series for the 12th time in program history, and folks, they did it in utter dominant fashion. 5-0 through the regionals and the supers. Make your plans for the College World Series. The Hogs are headed to Nebraska next weekend, and how sweet it is.
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963. Don't forget about Hog Reaction after every Arkansas postseason baseball game.
And what a win for the Arkansas Razorbacks as once again you find yourselves heading to Omaha, Nebraska. Hey, welcome in. This is Hog Reaction, brought to you by Heath Roberts with State Farm, ASU Mountain Home, and First Star Bank as your Arkansas Razorbacks defeat the Tennessee Volunteers 11-4 in Baum-Walker Stadium. It was a day of first. First time since Dave Van Horn has been the head coach at Arkansas that his team is not dogpiled after a super regional win. First time that the team has ever celebrated in Lake Norm or the concourse or the hog pen with the fans in the stands. It was an awesome way to end the Fayetteville Super Regional. And now you're, again, at least the lone SEC team that is locked in for the College World Series. And we'll see if LSU joins you as your first opponent here next week, Colton.
Boy, Phil mentioned it right there. Dominant through the regional and the super regional. 5-0 throughout the entirety of the postseason if you exclude one little stumble in the SEC tournament, but we all know that doesn't matter. What matters is that your lineup came to play today, Ty. Well, we all knew it needed to happen. You needed to be able to get to Liam Doyle, and that's exactly what happened. Charles Davalon started it off with the pimp job on the absolute bat flip that went from hell all the way over to the freaking next building over, and it was just the floodgates had opened from there. It was absolutely amazing to watch this Razorback hitting lineup just take every single pitcher from Tennessee out of their element. They tried to mix and match, but Ty, it's really hard to mix and match a lineup that switches back and forth across the plate from right-handed hitter to left-handed hitter, and today the Volunteers just didn't have enough firepower, and the Razorbacks are headed back to Omaha.
Well, hit in the air, left field, gonna carry. Going back is Bargo. Bargo's at the wall. He leaps out of here. A grand slam by Logan Maxwell. They have the turkey on the table. They've taken the biggest bite they can have. Maxwell with his 13th of the year, the 8th grand slam for the Homer and Hogs. 7-1.
B's just happy that both teams had fun tonight as he's texting in here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, which is open, by the way, at 877-377-6963. Arky texting in co-MVPs, Logan Maxwell and the Wild pitching. Razorbacks versus the Beavers rematch still a possibility for all the marbles in the championship. We're a ways off from that. It looks like probably your first opponent is going to be the LSU Tigers. I probably need to get an update and see what's going on in Baton Rouge on that. But
probably still in a rain delay.
But yeah, when what's his face, Ben McDonald shared a video earlier today, former LSU Tiger, SEC Network, and ESPN college baseball analyst. It looked bad. So yeah, that is probably that's what happened. There's plenty to react to. Again, Maxwell, what a weekend. What a career at Arkansas he's had against the Tennessee Volunteers. Phil brought up the stat. He's hitting like a staggering. It was at least 400 and something. It might have been 500 something. I'm going to find this and give it to you. But just all around, you got a lot of different things from a lot of different players from this Arkansas baseball team. You didn't have necessarily a lawn outing from Gage Wood, but there was a player too, like Fisher being up with the bases loaded, for example. It puts him into a double play. Bouch closes it out the game. You got stuff from Coyle. You got stuff from Jimenez. You got stuff from Gibbler. Gibbler really growing up as the postseason continues on. So a lot of different people deserve to be congratulated. It was funny listening to Logan Maxwell after the game. People were likening this quote to what Kobe Bryant has said.
I have a national championship in mind, but the first step's going to Omaha, and then the next one's going to Natty.
He has a unique perspective because remember he was on that TCU team 2 years ago that beat Arkansas and then advanced past the regional. Now he's going to Omaha, Nebraska to play for a trophy, Colton, that Arkansas is yet to put on its mantle, and maybe that changes here in 2025.
There were some things that you wanted to see from everybody going into hopefully a chance to reclaim a little bit of the mojo about this program heading into Omaha. You wanted to see Kuhio Aloy be able to make some better contact and come through, and he was able to deliver in a clutch RBI situation late today. Brent Iredale was able to just have a nice icing on the cake home run near the end of the game. Like you said, Ty, it was every single person was able to pour just a little bit of themselves out today to help the win. And to be honest, they were kind of kicking in around there at the end of the game. Phil and Bubba were like, it's kind of anticlimactic, and that's kind of how I felt too. I mean, we said it during the pregame show. I know you had talked about it leading up to this this matchup this weekend. You kind of thought it was going to end up being a lot better game than this, but the Volunteers just did not come to play to Fayetteville this weekend.
No, they did not, and we are absolutely 100%
fine with that.
Okay with that. Yeah. Okay with that every single time. Now, Tony Vitello moves to 2-13 all time against Dave Van Horn as the head coach of the Tennessee Volunteers. More to react to as we continue here on Hog Reaction. We're going to hear from your head baseball coach, a couple players like Logan Maxwell, and of course sprinkle in some highlights as well as the Razorbacks win the Fayetteville Super Regional 11-4. More reaction after this.
Just competing, kind of blacked out, so I can't answer that for you. Don't remember.
You're listening to Hog Reaction. Our exclusive coverage of the 2025 Fayetteville Super Regionals is brought to you by ASU Mountain Home, First Star Bank, and by State Farm Insurance agent Heath Roberts.
You think he's not fired up? That's 3,005 RPMs.
This moment of relief brought to you by your local State Farm agent, who also brings relief with all your auto insurance needs.
Call Heath Roberts at 479-452-4088 for a free quote today.
Ready to pave your path to success? Register now for summer and fall classes at ASU Mountain Home. Current students connect with your advisors to enroll. New students visit asumh.edu. With financial aid and scholarships available, your dream degree is within reach. Embrace flexibility with online options, allowing you to balance work, family, and life. Blaze a new trail at ASU Mountain Home.
Up to $10,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off. Or lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer EV with hands-free driving assistance and go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds for as low as $900 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Superior Siding and Windows have been improving homes in Fort Smith and the River Valley for over 44 years. Whether your need is siding, vinyl windows, doors, or gutters, Superior Siding is the one to call if you want it done right the first time. Call 479-646-7888 for a free estimate. 100% financing is available, and Superior Siding has AAA rating with Better Business Bureau. Superior Siding, your first call, 479-646-7888.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
At Our Best Bank, we believe small businesses are the backbone of our communities. That's why we help businesses of all kinds find their strength. Whether you're just getting your business off the ground, planning for future growth, or managing the day-to-day, we want to help you thrive. Because everyone deserves a financial partner who cares. Our Best Bank. We believe.
TGI Fridays on Rogers Avenue, Fort Smith has an incredible lineup for their meal deals. This includes crispy chicken fingers for only $9.99, served with seasoned fries and coleslaw. Whiskey glazed chicken slammers, $10.99. Buffalo chicken slammers, $10.99. Grilled salmon for $15.99. And Friday's big ribs for $14.99, all served with a side and fountain drink. Don't miss out on their happy hour. Karaoke on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and 50-cent wings on Monday. TGI Fridays, I-540 and Rogers Avenue, Fort Smith.
The Solid Rock has been locally owned for over 46 years. When was the last time you were there? So much more than a bookstore. They have Christian t-shirts, church supplies, Bible studies, devotionals, home decor, gifts, and of course, a large selection of Bibles. And Bibles are engraved free of charge while you wait. Now, you can get custom laser engraving on select gift items and some Bibles. Located next to Sam's Club on South 74th, The Solid Rock is your source for faith-based books, music, clothing, and more. The Solid Rock, 452-4844.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
Listening to Hog Reaction. Our exclusive coverage of the 2025 Fayetteville Super Regionals is brought to you by ASU Mountain Home, First Star Bank, and by State Farm Insurance agent Heath Roberts.
The 1-2 to Maxwell. Hit in the air, left field, gonna carry. Going back is Bargo. Bargo's at the wall, he leaps out of here. A grand slam by Logan Maxwell. They have the turkey on the table. They've taken the biggest bite they can have. Maxwell with his 13th of the year, the 8th grand slam for the Homer and Hogs. 7-1.
This is Hog Reaction.
Whenever I lost, maybe my dad did it to me, I was kind of a little punk.
That will never not be funny. Arkansas wins 11-4 this afternoon in Baum Walker Stadium, advancing to the College World Series. in Omaha, Nebraska. I know we've got plenty of texts, plenty of calls to get to here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline following a great performance from the Razorbacks. This weekend would not have been possible without my insurance agent, Heath Roberts at State Farm. Heath can help you out with car insurance, house insurance. He can help you out. State Farm may be a big name, but Heath is local. 479-452-4088. That's Heath Roberts at State Farm. By ASU Mountain Home. They offer 60-plus degrees in technical programs. Affordable cost. Go to asumh.edu. That's asumh.edu for the #1 community college in Arkansas as voted by Wallet Hub. And by First Star Bank. For all your firsts, whether you're saving, borrowing, or planning, call your local First Star Bank branch. Your hometown banker with all the digital tools. First Star Bank, your hometown bank for all your first. Dr. Tyler wondering in Fayetteville, hey, where can I pick you up this week in Central Arkansas? Well, Dr. Tyler, you can always listen to it on the Hit That Line Now app powered by Taco Bell. I know that there's going to be a lot of people that will make their way at some point to Omaha, Nebraska here in these next few weeks. And, of course, you can always listen to Bubba and Phil right here on across most of these ESPN Arkansas stations, hitthatline.com, and the app is as well. And that's what, Cole, that's what we've been doing the last few days. We'll come in a little bit early, start working on stuff, getting the imaging and everything set up together, and just listening to Phil. I'm going to be honest, I watched the first couple innings on TV, but I listened to Phil and Bubba the most of the game this afternoon.
Well, I'm sure they painted a really good picture. There was lots of action for them to describe, and that's what you want when you're listening to the game on the radio, Ty. But the Razorbacks just were knocking the ball all around the ballpark today. They took advantage of Tennessee, who just doesn't have the same amount of talent that you have in your bullpen. And that was evident today by the guys that the Razorbacks brought out to finish the job. You mentioned it going into the break before we went to the break last, and it was Cole Gibbler. What a big moment he had at the bottom of the fifth. He ended up finishing that inning perfect thanks to Reese Robinette, who got to make up for some bad defensive play yesterday that allowed a runner to come on. A ball squeaked through his glove. And then today he made a good play to help Gibbler get that perfect bottom of the fifth. But good velo from the freshman and a good mix of movement with that kind of that strange left-handed arm slot. Like you said, Ty, kind of grew up a little bit as he has most of this postseason. So really good to see that from the Razorback pitching staff. And, man, the coolest thing was listening to Phil and Bubba describe just the cavalcade and the parade of celebration that the Razorback baseball team went on after winning the game. They decided not to do the dog pile. They want to wait till after they win the big one in Omaha. But they took just a big victory lap all the way around the stadium and jumping into the lake out there. That has to be just a moment that you live for as a baseball player.
A great text from Razorback Paul. I've been to every College World Series game when Arkansas is gone. Let's go. So for an 8th time under Dave Van Horn, Razorback Paul is heading back. He also says, rumor has it Tennessee fans are getting a divorce because they suck. Don't worry. They're still they can't go that far because they're still brother and sister. And the inbred jokes have begun here on Hog Reaction. Yeah, it is early. So when you look at the stat sheet after the game, several guys with an impact once again. Charles Dablon had himself quite a weekend against Tennessee. 2 walks and also a hit today. Behiva Aloy got in on the action, which was nice. Logan Maxwell with 3 hits. He leads the team with that. Cam Kojal again, who I want to say Phil or Bubba were talking about really like the last 6 to 8 weeks. I feel like Cam's been your best hitter, and he continues to have success. So you look, Ryder didn't get a hit today, and JT, Justin Thomas, didn't get a hit, but everyone else, Colton, up and down the lineup, 7 of the 9 guys managed to hit today for your Arkansas baseball team, and that comes 7 of 9. So that just goes to show you the difficulty. And one of the things we spoke about on Arkansas Game Day leading up to this game was sometimes this team is so deep, you have a hero. In today's case, it's Logan Maxwell that you don't necessarily expect. Like we fielded a bunch of texts before the game, and then people were giving us, this guy, or even leading up to this weekend. Yeah. No one mentioned Logan Maxwell, and yet he had the biggest hit of the day with the grand salami. So that is what opposing coaches, assuming Jay Johnson, by the way, LSU and West Virginia has not started yet, the torrential downpour that is consumed Alex Box, Florida State and Oregon State. The winner of that will move on to Omaha, and then Arizona wins earlier today, and UCLA unfortunately closes out the Cinderella UTSA. So the Bruins will be heading to Omaha. So again, you only got one SEC team. The difficulty is you're probably gonna have to play them first game. Now, what is good is you heard Phil in the broadcast say, Colton, that Arkansas won't play till Saturday. That's the setup with you being a Saturday, Sunday, Monday super regional. You get the benefit of not having to play until the second day of the College World Series, which, again, for how it was set up, it's nice. And you got it taken care of early, so you're not going to be playing in tomorrow. Like if LSU loses, they'll obviously be playing in tomorrow, which we're big Mountaineers fans listening to this program right now, and hopefully they can play, and then West Virginia can pull it out. But now Dave Van Horn and Matt Hobbs will have some decisions to make. Zach Root, again, just pitched on Saturday, so you get him a week rest, which to me it's pretty obvious who's going to be pitching here in a few days.
Yeah, but the bigger thing that you mentioned right there, Ty, is that you have to pick and choose who you want to throw to in this lineup, and nothing is more evident from that than early on in the third inning, where Doyle had, for the beginning of the game, he had worked himself into very good counts for a pitcher, had the Razorbacks guessing on a lot of his stuff. That early high fastball was working for him, but then he kind of got behind Davalon. They had the meeting of the minds on the mound, and then Davalon just absolutely sent one all the way over the Hunt Center. That was a pretty good start to the day, because they were kind of working things around. And then, because he'd done that later on, Ty, they chose to walk him, load the bases up later on. And what happened after they load the bases up? You had to call Grandma, tell her to break out the rye bread, get the mustard. It's a big grand salami out here from Logan Maxwell. And it was nice. It was happy to see that. But they're going to have lots of decisions to make, Ty, but no more important decisions than opposing teams' hitting coaches are going to have, or opposing teams' pitching coaches are going to have when they try to figure out, look, who do we want to throw to? Because everybody in this lineup is capable of taking me yard.
Yeah, up and down. A lot of guys can take you out of the ballpark, and they've been able to do that all season long. What else did you react to after Arkansas went? I would say it was kind of odd, right? So they didn't dogpile, which I actually liked. I thought that was cool. They went up into the stands. They went up into the concourse. They went out to the hog pen. They took, the trophy out to Lake Norm. So there was a lot of things that they did following the game. Tommy was in the crowd. A lot of Arkansas fans and listeners that were texting me stuff were in the crowd. Like I got something from Robert Teague with T Law Firm. I got something from Brett Brundage with Fish City Grill. We just had a lot of our partners that have sent us stuff, and I know they're really excited, as you should be, because this team, the same, whether it was Maxwell, and I haven't listened to it yet, who was in the postgame with Dave?
He had Logan Maxwell, Camden Koziel, and also Charles Davalon.
Okay, so I'm guessing Davalon and Koziel probably had a similar thought to Logan Maxwell as transfers, being like, yeah, we didn't come here to just go to Omaha. They're thinking beyond that. Now, they obviously know it's going to take 1 team at a time, and LSU's probably going to be sitting there waiting on you here less than a week from today. So that being said, it's not like it's an easy path, though if you do get by, and I'm just expecting the Tigers to advance past their Baton Rouge Super Regional, so we're under the assumption that is going to happen. If that's the case, you set yourself up mightily if you somehow, some way can win that first game. We know how much more difficult it is if you lose in Omaha that first game to eventually get to the championship series. All right, more reaction here coming up here on Hog Reaction. Again, our number, Lewis Automotive Group hotline, is open, 877-377-6963. That's 877-377-6963. Reacting to Arkansas's 11-4 victory over the Tennessee Volunteers.
Competing kind of blacked out, so I can't answer that for you. Don't remember.
You're listening to Hog Reaction. Our exclusive coverage of the 2025 Fayetteville Super Regionals is brought to you by ASU Mountain Home, First Star Bank, and by State Farm Insurance agent Heath Roberts.
You think he's not fired up? That's 3,005 RPM.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover, for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith, or online at harryrobinson.com.
Storm season is here. Is your roof ready? Hey, it's Matt Jones. If the weather has wrecked your roof and you need a roofing company you can trust, call my friends at Patriot Brothers Roofing. They have the #1 certainteed roofing company in Arkansas. They are licensed, bonded, insured, and lifetime River Valley residents located in Van Buren.
Thanks, Matt. We are also the only roofing company in the River Valley that installs a full CertainTeed integrity roof system and registers a 50-year warranty directly with CertainTeed. Patriot Brothers Roofing, because your home deserves only the best.
Summer is finally here. Come check out Kofer's Boat Center's huge selection of boats with extra rebates for a limited time. Kofer's features low pontoons and fishing boats, Malibu and Active wake surf boats, Caymas bass boats, and Kofer's has recently added the luxury line of Harris pontoons. Kofer's experienced professionals will answer all of your boating questions, and their award-winning customer service is second to none. Plus, they have the best boat storage option in town. Find them online at Kofers.com. That's COPATRS.com. Kofer's Boat Center, providing family fun since 1971.
Can you explain the infield fly rule? Neither can I, but I can help you navigate a variety of legal issues, from divorce to personal injury to estate planning. I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions, a new law firm offering affordable flat fees with payment plans available. You get an ace at the price of a minor leaguer. Now that sounds like a grand slam to me. Call Mock Legal Solutions for your free consultation. 479-769-1505. Real advice, reasonable price.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment, or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Where can you get good neighbor service and surprisingly great insurance rates? At State Farm, because State Farm agent Heath Roberts is your one-stop shop in the River Valley for the service you deserve at the price you want. So stop looking around. State Farm agent Heath Roberts is ready to help. Call 479-452-4088 for your surprisingly great rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Need a little extra cash? Go see Rusty at Golden Gym Pond, 310 West Center in Greenwood. Get the money you need with loans on jewelry, guns, tools, and electronics. If you're looking for a gift, they have a large selection of jewelry to choose from, and Rusty can take care of all jewelry repair. Stop by Golden Gym Pond today, 310 West Center in Greenwood, or call 996-2792. Open 9 to 5:30 Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and 9 to 3 on Wednesday. Golden Gym Pond.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. Listening to Hog Reaction. Our exclusive coverage of the 2025 Fayetteville Super Regionals is brought to you by ASU Mountain Home, First Star Bank, and by State Farm Insurance agent Heath Roberts.
The 1-2 to Maxwell. Hit in the air, left field, gonna carry. Going back is Bargo. Bargo's at the wall, he leaps here. A grand slam by Logan Maxwell. They have the turkey on the table. They've taken the biggest bite they can have. Maxwell with his 13th of the year, the 8th grand slam for the Homer and Hogs. 7-1.
This is Hog Reaction.
No, it's pretty cool. I thought it was neat that those guys, we're thinking of the fans and all the support they've gotten all year. It's been amazing. The last couple of weekends has been just crazy here. It's been great. It's been talked about nationally, and we have a lot of recruits that are watching, and so I'm hoping that they want to be a part of it. And it's different here.
That is an element because the transfer portal is open in college baseball, Colton. There's been guys that have already selected where they're going to school. Some are still in the midst of postseason runs. And just to see a scene like that, if you're a recruit, obviously there's a lot of different transfers on this baseball team. this year, and they've come together. I know Camden Kojal was talking about just the fishing and getting to hang out with his buddies earlier this week. We've seen it firsthand throughout the season. That is, I think, an underrated element within this baseball team. It's not. There are consistencies like Kendall Diggs and Will McIntyre, but Gabe Gackle was here last year. Gage Wood. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that every single guy is a transfer player or a freshman, but there's a lot of new pieces, and at least for the majority of the season, there hasn't seemed to be, at least from the outside looking in, there hasn't seemed to be a lot of pushback, a lot of bickering, a lot of fighting, even during the midst of that losing streak. I don't know if you did. I didn't see tempers flare up. I didn't see teammates boil over and get angry at one another. I think that's a really underrated aspect of this baseball team in 2025.
Yeah, Ty, I mean, just look up and down the lineup. Davalon, transfer. Vahiva Aloy, transfer in 2 years ago. Logan Maxwell, transfer in. We got Ryder Helfrich as a product out of California, so he's a freshman that we've recruited as a couple years ago. Kuhio Aloy, transfer. Cam Kojal, transfer. Brent Iredale, transfer. Justin Thomas Jr., transfer. We got Reese Robinette as a recruit, but still, that's like, 7 out of 9 guys that you've taken out of the transfer portal. There are huge parts of your lineup. It can't be understated how important it is that on the game's biggest stage in college baseball, whenever there's the most eyes on it, that it coincides with the time when there's a lot of really talented players that are looking to move up and have more eyes on their game because their ability is worthy of having more eyes on it. And I think the Razorbacks are obviously one of the more attractive places for a high-level transfer to go to. As a baseball transfer, you have undeniable facilities that are among the best, if not the best, in all of college baseball. You have a coach that is a proven winner, a fan base that will support you no matter where you come from. If you have a completely different background than them, they'll get behind you. They'll create great nicknames for you. They'll even start wearing your own cultural, clothes and things like that.
Or chant like Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
Yeah.
I mean, it is pretty remarkable.
It gets better. It's nothing better than that. This, if you're a transfer, there's obviously nowhere else you'd want to be. And I think that for the Razorback baseball team, it's super exciting to see the fact that all of this hard work and some of the heartache that you've suffered through the past couple of years of watching your team lose in heartbreaking fashion at home, that kind of gets taken away from. I mean, that's completely gone now. You've seen this team has risen to the occasion time and time again this year, and I'll get this cut in just a minute whenever we go to break a little bit. I get some more time, but I mean, Ty, DVH was a little bit emotional in the press conference in his opening statement because this team has stayed the course all year long. And like you said, this is a team of, pieces they tried to just fill and put in and, make this puzzle work together. But it's guys that came in and had a collective mindset. They were all like-minded individuals that had one common goal, and that's to make it to Omaha and to win a national championship. And I think that now Coach Van Horn sees that as a true possibility, and he just wants nothing more than for that to become a reality. And I think that with him and his players on the same page, these transfers, they ought to get to start watching some Razorback baseball because that's how fun and successful you can be, is like what happened on our TV screens this weekend.
Got a text here this morning saying it's so much more fun to cry when you're winning rather than losing. Again, the emotions that are deep right now within Razorback Nation. And Bubba Tana talked it on the broadcast. It seems like it's crazy that it's been this long. Like 2019, there are teams that have never made the College World Series. Eastern Carolina is a good example of a really good baseball program that hasn't just gotten to Omaha. You, of course, haven't won a national championship, and you feel like, along with Florida State and North Carolina and others, that you're one of the premier baseball programs in the country to not achieve that feat. So that begs the question here at 7:20 on a Sunday night, the same question that you probably asked yourself since that game concluded, maybe even before that. Is this the year? Do you feel, as an Arkansas Razorback fan, in your heart of hearts, that this team is going to finally break through and do what others have been unable to do? And that's win it all. And they've gotten close multiple times. 79, 85, 2018. There's been some other DVH teams. Heck, 2022, they are a game away from the whole thing and getting to the College World Series final. I think when you look at how strong the batting order is, and you combine that with a guy that has really taken over in postseason, and I thought about this, and I don't want to diminish what Hagen Smith did in his Razorback career overall over the course of time. His his season did not end like he wanted it to last year. I think about what he accomplished as a true freshman in Stillwater, Oklahoma, and Chapel Hill, North Carolina. That Hagen Smith that we saw as a true freshman who was unbelievable and then just continued to dominate as a sophomore and junior, just not as much in the postseason. For Zach Root, who has had an up and down, and I say again, I need to read that. It's not even up and down. He has not been as consistent as some of your alphas on that mound. Yet, when it's mattered, Texas, Super Regional, Regional, he has played the best of not just his Razorback career, but in his collegiate career. Zach Root has never been to a Supers before. He talked about that. And yet, when it mattered the most in Game 1 against a team who got a little hot in Hoover and then found a way to win the Knoxville Regional, he shut them down and was awesome. And then you look at collectively, again, you allow 7 runs to an SEC team over the course of 2 games. 7 combined. Any coach in college baseball would take that from his pitching staff. And that's exactly what Dave Van Horn got out of not just Root, Wood as the starters, but the rest of the pitching staff like Gackle, Coyle, and the other guys that contributed today as well.
Well, it's 7 runs, Ty, and I think 2 of those kind of came in the 9th inning of the game today. Kind of cheap. Fouch was a little bit amped up, threw one over the heart of the plate, just trying to get the game over with and a little bit overpower a backup hitter who he thought wasn't going to quite be ready. Turned out it was. So really, you say 7 runs, but I think it was really more like 5, so a handful or so. But your point still stands is that this team is so talented and so powerful. And I'm going to correct myself. I'm going to go ahead and just say that I was wrong yesterday. I'm an idiot. I thought that the difference yesterday was that the Tennessee had their backup catcher in there, and that wild pitch got away from him, and that was the deciding factor today. Obviously, Cannon Peebles is just a lazy catcher. He let 2 or 3 get away today, several of which caused more traffic on the bases, base runners to move over to give them more advantageous scoring positions for the Arkansas hitters, and also several of those runs ended up coming around to score too. So I was, hand to God, I was wrong about that. I'm happy to be admitting that today.
Well, and the other thing, I'll admit, one of the things I wonder about is Liam Doyle and what kind of outing that he would have for the Tennessee Volunteers. He didn't even make it through 4 innings, gave up 5 hits, and was credited with 5 runs. So the Razorbacks got to Liam Doyle, which is another part of this game today. Why you've advanced to Omaha, Nebraska for the 8th time under Dave Van Horn. All right, this is Hog Reaction. It's brought to you by Heath Roberts at State Farm, ASU Mountain Home, and First Star Bank. I want to hear that emotion. It's always good when you can hear a player or a coach following a big-time win for their program. Dave Van Horn moves to 13-2 all-time against Tony Vitello since he's been in Knoxville. Let's hear the emotional side of Coach when we return here on Hog Reaction.
Competing kind of blacked out, so I can't answer that for you. Don't remember.
You're listening to Hog Reaction. Our exclusive coverage of the 2025 Fayetteville Super Regionals is brought to you by ASU Mountain Home, First Star Bank, and by State Farm Insurance agent Heath Roberts.
You think he's not fired up? That's 3,005 RPM.
Whether you're opening your first checking account, purchasing your first home, saving for your first big vacation, or opening a new business, First Star Bank offers hometown service with the latest in digital banking technology. Our local team makes banking fast, convenient, and easy. From simple everyday banking to helping you fulfill your dreams, our team is here to guide you every step of the way. First Star Bank. We'll be there through all your firsts. Learn more at firststar.bank or stop by one of our local branches today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
This is Hog Reaction.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
The Solid Rock has been locally owned for over 46 years. When was the last time you were there? So much more than a bookstore. They have Christian t-shirts, church supplies, Bible studies, devotionals, home decor, gifts, and of course, a large selection of Bibles. And Bibles are engraved free of charge while you wait. Now, you can get custom laser engraving on select gift items and some Bibles. Located next to Sam's Club on South 74th, The Solid Rock is your source for faith-based books, music, clothing, and more. The Solid Rock, 452-4844.
Hey, it's Matt Jones. If the weather has wrecked your roof and you need a roofing company you can trust, call my friends at Patriot Brothers Roofing. They are licensed, bonded, insured, and lifetime River Valley residents located in Van Buren.
Thanks, Matt. We are also the only roofing company in the River Valley that installs a full CertainTeed integrity roof system and registers a 50-year warranty directly with CertainTeed. Avoid the door knockers and storm chasers. We are local and we will be here long after the storm chasers are gone.
Check out PatriotBrothersRoofing.com or call 479-652-9479.
Patriot Brothers Roofing, because your home deserves only the best.
Family, that's what sets us apart. Crabtree RV Center, founded in 1950 by E.J. and Allen Crabtree, family owned and operated, serving Arkansas for 74 years.
I've been working full-time here at Crabtree RV since 1996 after graduating from the University of Arkansas, where I'm proud to carry on my grandparents' legacy.
I know if Mom and Dad could see Crabtree RVs today, they would be so proud.
Crabtree RV Center in Alma, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
You've got the shoes, now finish the run strong. At True Grit Running Company, we've got the gear that goes the extra mile. Socks that fit and protect your feet and improve how the shoes fit, feel, and perform. Hydration bottles, packs, and belts to keep you going through the hot summer. And Ufos recovery sandals and shoes, your feet will thank you. Because running isn't just about the miles, it's about the details. Come see the gear at True Grit Running Company, where every step counts. 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
We all make plans for the future, like car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires can disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Wade Gilkey or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. Listening to Hog Reaction. Our exclusive coverage of the 2025 Fayetteville Super Regionals is brought to you by ASU Mountain Home, First Star Bank, and by State Farm Insurance agent Heath Roberts.
The 1-2 to Maxwell. Hit in the air, left field, gonna carry. Going back is Bargo. Bargo's at the wall, he leaps out of here. A grand slam by Logan Maxwell. They have the turkey on the table. They've taken the biggest bite they can have. Maxwell with his 13th of the year, the 8th grand slam for the Homer and Hogs. 7-1.
This is Hog Reaction.
With 2 outs, the stretch, pitch on the way, check swing appeal, got him. Innings over. A scoreless 6 thrown by Cole Gibbler, striking out Reese Chapman and leaves Hunter Ensley at first base. No runs, 1 hit. Tennessee strands their 5th runner of the ball game.
You heard the freshman Cole Gibbler right there. Notch one of his 4 strikeouts today. He was nails out of the pen, as was a majority of the Razorback pitching staff. And that's going to be the difference for these Razorbacks going on to Omaha. Hopefully, if you have any other ideas about what the Razorbacks can do to continue on their quest for a national championship, you can let us know right here. How you feeling? Your Razorbacks are headed back to Omaha. It's been a long time, it feels like, since the Razorbacks were headed back to the promised land. But as my guy Phil Elson likes to say, hey, this one belongs to the Razorbacks. Arkansas takes care of the hot-headed Tennessee Volunteers 11-4 today to finish off a 5-0 sweep at home in the postseason during the regional and the super regional. We're here live on Hog Reaction. Colton Little here, Ty Richardson taking care of some Ty Richardson business right now. You can jump on with us here on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Dial the number, text us, 877-377-6963. We want to hear your reaction. I mean, this is a very, very big game, a huge game of consequence for the Razorback baseball team. We want to hear what you have to say. What do the fans have to say? I mean, the Razorback baseball team was up there with the fans. They went around the entire concourse. They were out there high-fiving shirtless guys in the hog pen. I heard that freshman pitcher Steele Leaves had to do a cannonball out there into Lake Norm to recover of the super regional trophy that was lost in all the fun and the excitement. So I want to hear about the fun and the excitement happening around the natural state today as you celebrate your Arkansas Razorbacks making it back to Omaha. And I know that I kind of kicked it around there for just a second about how it feels like it's been a long time. It has. And I think that that's part of the reason why some of this success for the Razorback baseball team feels so exciting is that, Ty, a little bit of this is that this team and this fan base and this program is super spoiled when it comes to our baseball program.
Yeah, no
Success
question.
is something that we have expected year in and year out. But I just was telling everybody that it does feel like it has been a long time since you've made it back to Omaha. And now that they're here, I'm just excited for this Razorback baseball team to finally go out there and prove to the entire world that they shouldn't have been sleeping on the Hogs this year. And all the stuff that's been talked about for Dave Van Horn over the last couple of years, hopefully they can put it to bed this year.
Yeah, and the text we just received from Terry and Alma, the "Do It for Dave" slogan. We've talked to players. We had Chris Lanzilli on this past week. We've had a countless former players that have come on ESPN Arkansas airwaves, and the ones that obviously can no longer field a baseball or hit it at the plate. They still want their former head coach to win a national championship and take the whole thing. And that possibility exists in 2025. You think about the success 04, 09, 12, 15, 18, 19, 22, and 2025. All all college World Series appearances for this baseball team and Dave Van Horn. And they've gone about it different ways. I guarantee you that Boyce, Sawatsky, all those guys that are on the 2004 team would tell you that the coaching style and the way that they played then is a lot different than how they play 21 years later in 2025. There are elements that Dave Van Horn has kept for 2+ decades here at Arkansas, but then there's other ways they've gone about things differently. Like, this is a more offensively geared team. I think all of you that have watched this season will tell you that. And that's, I think, one of the biggest things going for you heading into Omaha. Now, they have used a lot of home runs this postseason. There's going to be an adjustment at Charles Schwab Field being a bigger ballpark. I'm just excited to see how this team does starting Saturday at Charles Schwab. Now, we referenced the emotions that Dave Van Horn kind of let out in the postgame. Let's listen to him.
So happy for, everybody involved with the program, especially, more than anything, the players, because they're the ones that do all the work. They're the ones that win the games. And so happy that, they're going to finish this season in Omaha. I don't know. Just means a lot.
He doesn't get choked up too often. And that's not fake. I don't think anyone here listening thought it was.
No, we had to take his hat off to hide his face in the press conference. And I think that it's kind of alluded to what I kind of mentioned a second ago, Ty, just some of the pressure and the expectation that's been on this ball club for such a long time. And for him personally, this has to feel really good. But still, that he has a big goal in mind. But I think that today he's allowed to show a little bit of emotion.
Yeah, it is. It came out there, definitely. I was looking I was watching the videos of the players at Norm Lake, and I honestly was thinking that like Dave Van Horn might have been the guy that jumped in, but I guess it was one of the
Steele Eaves.
Yeah,
He's
Steele
ruined,
Eaves,
he's
one of the
ruined one of
pitchers.
those beautiful cream jerseys.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Looking at it after the game, so that's pretty funny. Again, entertainment. The game itself, this was weird, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess they beat Ole Miss pretty good in 2019. They beat South Carolina, I think, pretty good in 2018. The last time that you've been to Supers, it was a pretty good game in 2015 when you beat Missouri State. I think it was through Baylor. It was either through Baylor or Florida State back in 2012. And then let's see, excuse me. I think it was Baylor 2012. I think it was Florida State 2009, and then 2004 was I'm forgetting the team that they beat to go to Omaha, but that was also a good game. But
in 2004,
yeah,
they also beat the Seminoles. Yeah.
Okay, it was Florida State that year as well, and that was a good game and a good series. That being said, it was kind of like the game was in hand. I mean, I was getting text in the 7th and 8th inning about plans to Omaha. My brother was texting in. He's not going to make it this next weekend, but he's booking stuff for the championship series. I would encourage all of you, for anyone that's even thinking about going to Omaha, use your incognito tab on Google Chrome, because there's algorithms and there's ways that they can raise prices, whether it's flights or whether it's the hotel rooms. If you are even looking into it, don't get on a normal tab. That's something Cement Head taught me with Mock Legal Solutions, and there is some truth to that actually being a thing. So if that's something you want to do. But Razorback Nation, we call it, again, it's Bomb North for a reason. There are a lot of Arkansas fans that make their way to Omaha, Nebraska, not just for if the Hogs are playing, but there's groups that go regardless. But now your team, once again, is there. And you played LSU, I think it was in 2009, because Chad Jones was on that team. He was an outstanding safety for the Tigers. He's the kid that knocked out Joe Adams on that, I think it was a first and goal or something like that took his helmet, it took his head off, and then Joe caught that touchdown like 3 plays later, which was wild. But that was an LSU team that, if I remember correctly, won it all in 2009. So this is another opportunity to get these guys. You lost to them in the regular. And again, we're under the assumption. Is that a bad assumption I'm making that LSU's going to advance? I don't think so. They're up 1-0. West Virginia is here. It's a
they started the game?
Well, I'm saying they're up 1-0 in the series.
1 in the series.
Yeah, I need to clarify.
I thought that no, you're fine in saying that, because I thought that Jay Johnson wouldn't start that game till 9:56 p.m. That's usually their play out there in Baton Rouge. If they're going to start that game after a weather delay and keep pushing it back, I imagine he's going to try and start it as late as possible. And when you have a full ballpark full of rowdy Cajuns in Baton Rouge, that's definitely a 1,000 IQ play for him. But, Ty, I don't think that you're wrong to assume that they're going to go ahead and advance. They have two of the best starting pitchers in all of college baseball, and the Razorbacks are going to have an extremely tall task ahead of them when they go up against the Bayou Bengals when they make it down to Omaha. But it's an exciting feeling for this Razorback baseball team, and I know for Coach Van Horn that emotion is well-deserved. I mean, this team has risen to the occasion, and they have had their backs against the wall at multiple times during several points of the year. But here in the postseason time, they've been pretty dominant. And like I said, it was kind of a ho-hum game. I mean, I thought this was going to be a real serious like knockdown, drag out, another heavyweight title fight like we saw yesterday. It was kind of like you were playing your little brother today. It just wasn't really quite as fun.
Yeah. Now again, we mentioned the emotions that you just heard from Dave Van Horn. That was more like on a sad, happy note. This is just emotions coming out of Camden Kojial.
We're going to Omaha.
We're going to Omaha, baby. We are going to Omaha, Nebraska, where the mecca of college baseball resides. I know Phil, Bubba, everyone else, again, really excited about what occurred today and what is hopefully going to occur here these next few weeks. So the Razorbacks will play on Saturday against LSU or West Virginia. I'm going to assume it's going to be LSU. There are games scheduled, I believe, for 1 and 6 o'clock, if I looked that up correctly. So being that Arkansas is one of the best baseball programs in LSU is not only the national champion program it is, but a national brand, I'm going to guess that you're probably going to play at 6 o'clock on Saturday night.
Hopefully
That's
so.
just a hunch. I think when you look at the teams, no disrespect to Arizona or UCLA, but LSU is the biggest national brand. So I'm going to guess that you will play. I don't think it's just me going out on a limb or anything. You know the game's on Saturday. The best most winningest program, at least, unless UCLA has this history that I have no idea about, or Arizona or someone else. But it's going to be LSU and Arkansas, I think, Saturday night. It's not locked in, it's not confirmed, but I think you can assume that is what the matchup's going to be on Saturday night, Colton.
Not only two of the most talented teams in all of baseball, which obviously would lend itself towards getting a primetime slot, it's also two teams that, like you said, Ty, have the bigger brands and a bigger television following. And I think that's where those decisions ultimately are made at the end of the day, is who's going to bring the most numbers into the time that we want the most people to be watching our product. And obviously LSU with their great starting pitching and just the dominance and power this Razorback baseball team have displayed throughout the postseason, you would have to think that 6 o'clock time slot would be ripe for a matchup for Arkansas and LSU to kick things off in Omaha.
It would be perfect. How about Lane and Leslie? Colton, listen to this text. For Lane, it was his first time in the Hog Pen for a game.
Oh, wow.
So the first time, the atmosphere was amazing. And the Hogs coming out of the Hog Pen with the fans was something he'll cherish the rest of their life. And So we gave credit to you, the fans, all week long, especially when Chris Burt mentioned on Friday that one of the things he really likes about Arkansas fans is that they latch on to players. Like you're seeing Hawaii flags with the Alloy brothers, Davalon, Iredale. I mean, guys with different roots, whether it's Canada, Ireland, Australia. Like our fan base really locks on and latches on and wants to make them, frankly, feel welcome. That was reciprocated today. And I don't know if these players will ever understand what a moment like that means to someone like Lane and Leslie, or the people out in the Hog Pen that have been sitting out there days in advance to get prime seats to watch their favorite team in the entire world play college baseball, or the season ticket holders that have spent an arm and a leg to watch this team, especially since they upped donations a couple years ago. It's days like today. It's moments like after the game that make it all worth it. Hog Reaction continues on next. We'll get more from Dave Van Horn and you on the Lewis Automotive Hotline as we continue on after an 11-4 win.
Competing, kind of blacked out, so I can't answer that for you. Don't remember.
You're listening to Hog Reaction. Our exclusive coverage of the 2025 Fayetteville Super Regionals is brought to you by ASU Mountain Home, First Star Bank, and by State Farm Insurance Agent Heath Roberts.
You think he's not fired up? That's 3,005 RPM.
At Our Best Bank, we believe small businesses are the backbone of our communities. That's why we help businesses of all kinds find their strength. Whether you're just getting your business off the ground, planning for future growth, or managing the day-to-day, we want to help you thrive. Because everyone deserves a financial partner who cares. Our Best Bank. We believe.
Ready to pave your path to success? Register now for summer and fall classes at ASU Mountain Home. Current students connect with your advisors to enroll. New students visit asumh.edu. With financial aid and scholarships available, your dream degree is within reach. Embrace flexibility with online options, allowing you to balance work, family, and life. Blaze a new trail at ASU Mountain Home.
This is Hog Reaction.
Summer is finally here. Come check out Kofer's Boat Center's huge selection of boats with extra rebates for a limited time. Kofer's features low pontoons and fishing boats, Malibu and Axis wake surf boats, Camus bass boats, and Kofer's has recently added the luxury line of Harris pontoons. Kofer's experienced professionals will answer all of your boating questions, and their award-winning customer service is second to none. Plus, they have the best boat storage option in town. Find them online at Kofers.com. That's COPATRS.com. Kofer's Boat Center, providing family fun since 1971.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
Up to $10,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off. Or lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer EV with hands-free driving assistance and go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds for as low as $900 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
I want to ride my bicycle.
Looking for a new ride or need a tune-up? Champion Cycling in Fort Smith has you covered. From top-of-the-line bikes like Specialized and Surly to expert repairs, apparel, and accessories, we've got everything you need to hit the trails. Stop by 5500 Mazard Road during business hours or shop anytime online at championcycling.com. Champion Cycling, helping you share in the joy of cycling.
Did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did? Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you.
How much that Jesse Ferry?
479
479
521
521
4220.
4220.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted Best Garage Door Company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett with River Valley Smile Center. We dial 782-8940.
Coach Todd Holland, head baseball coach of the University of Arkansas Fort Smith Lions. I call 782-8940.
Stay cool this summer with a York high-efficiency HVAC unit. Or for more information on endless hot water and high-efficiency tankless water heaters, give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. Listening to Hog Reactions. Our exclusive coverage of the 2025 Fayetteville Super Regionals is brought to you by ASU Mountain Home, First Star Bank, and by State Farm Insurance agent Heath Roberts.
The 1-2 to Maxwell. Hit in the air, left field, gonna carry. Going back is Bargo. Bargo's at the wall. He leaps out of here. A grand slam by Logan Maxwell. They had the turkey on the table. They've taken the biggest bite they can have. Maxwell with his 13th of the year, the 8th grand slam for the Homer and Hogs. 7-1.
This is Hog Reaction.
All right, let's go right to the Lewis Automotive hotline. This guy was texting us last night. Now he's called in. Joe is in Avoca. Joe, how about them Hogs tonight, man? What's going on?
I bet them volunteers were wanting to be airlifted out like that zebra that's been on the loose in Tennessee on Ed. Did you see where they airlifted that zebra out?
I did not catch that, but you just enlightened me of the fact.
It was a pet zebra that escaped, I don't know, about a week ago. He's been running around town. They finally caught him. I bet old Tony wanted to be airlifted out of Baum Stadium after that game. But anyway. You know what strikes me about Tennessee is when they get a walk or something, they just throw all their stuff down right there, right by them. They don't throw it out of the batter's box or anything. They just leave it there so somebody else can pick it up. I don't like that stuff. I don't like anything about them, but I'm glad the Hogs won, and they just need to win the next game and that's all.
And the game,
we need to
and the
stay
game after
in
that.
the winners bracket.
That's right. Hey, Joe, I don't know if you noticed this. There wasn't a lot of that famous Tennessee flamboyance and flair and trash talking, was there? Did you see that kind of calm down as the game went on?
Well, they didn't really have much trash talk about after that grand slam, but Iredale kind of scared me when he did that interference thing. That worried me there, but he made up for it.
That's right. Yeah.
But anyway, we whomped him like a yard dog. I'm not picking on stepchildren. I love every one of them, but it's like a red-headed stepchild. Whipped them. But anyway, and that old zebra got all hauled out of Tennessee. I guess it was yesterday. You didn't see that?
No, I guess I have something I need to look up after we get done talking here, Joe.
Hell, that's what they. I bet they wish they could have been airlifted out of Baum Stadium after that game. But anyway, go Hogs. Thank you.
Go Hogs. Thank you, Joe. 877-377-6963. The number you can call or text in here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, which I'm going to guess that some of you will be calling on your way to Omaha, Nebraska this next week. Just looking kind of some notes that I jotted down. One of the things I had never seen before, how about Gage Wood breaking a metal bat? I forget
crazy.
the hitter
That was
on
Dalton Bargo.
Tennessee. Dalton Bargo?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't think I've ever I've seen plenty of wood bats broken in the majors, but I don't think I've ever seen that in college baseball. That was one of the, it's not the biggest storyline that came out of the game today, but it was just kind of a funny little tidbit that I was like, oh, that was kind of unique.
Yeah, Ty, I know that you're a Literate Rock Christian grad, but do you believe in omens? Anything like that? The omens?
Where are you going?
Oh, I thought that was kind of a bad omen for Tennessee. That was kind of strange. I thought that was a bad omen today for Tennessee. I thought yesterday all three fielders converging on a fly ball was a good omen for the Razorbacks, and it didn't result in a hit, even though we did have that kind of a similar situation today. But I just wanted to know if you thought maybe that was a bad omen. I saw that happen and thought, I had never seen that happen before myself. I don't think that's going to bode well for Tennessee. One thing that I jotted down that I thought was just a great thing to see that made me feel so good, and just as a baseball fan, it's something that you love to see on the game tape. If you go back and watch it, if you have it recorded, I record all the Razorback football, basketball, and baseball games to occasionally go back and listen and then watch and just relive the excitement. And I'm going to go back and see if I can narrow down this clip and see if what I thought I saw was accurate. Right before the double play that got Gage Wood out of the jam when the bases were loaded at the top of the, I believe it was early on in his outing, I think maybe it was that third inning where the bases were loaded. I saw Dave Van Horn make a very quick motion to Cam Kojal to back up and get to a certain position right before Andrew Fisher grounded out into the double play that helped the Razorbacks get out of that inning. And that's just such great coaching. It's just knowing hitters and knowing tendencies and being prepared. It was really awesome to see Coach Van Horn studying up hitters and studying up players and having just watched so much baseball that putting Cam Kojal in the right spot, pushing the right button to make the key play in the right moment. Just thought that was super cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that happen during the course of a baseball game. Shifts, obviously telling guys whether they're here or not, hold back, that we don't notice, we don't pick up on, but so many things are going on behind the scenes, and Dave Van Horn is the architect of it all. Now, I will give this guy some credit. If you watched after the game, he stuck around, he congratulated Dave Van Horn and the rest of the team. That is Tony Vitello. Here's what he also had to say about Charles Davalon, who had a tremendous super regional.
A credit to Davalon. He's a guy, Frank and I even talked before the game. He put a hell of a swing on a guy that struck him out the last time we were here. Arv's been pretty tough on guys, and so he caused everybody to scramble a little bit. He got Liam. Looking back on it, Liam's always going to tell you he's 1,000%. Let the guy die on his shield maybe, or go out on his shield. And who's to say he wouldn't have got him out? So I wish I had all those answers. We'd be in a different spot right now.
Yep. Well, they don't. And now Arkansas is moving on. Jackie was at the game. Is it? And this is male or female? I don't know. Female.
Female, big Hog fan, been going for years.
Heck yeah. Well, Jackie, take us take us through what it was like to be in Baum Walker Stadium today.
Well, it was insane. It was wonderful. It was thrilling. Everybody was all just pumped up, especially after yesterday. But the most thrilling, besides winning, of course, was on the way out. I could hear everybody screaming, so I thought maybe Dave or somebody was by the exit. And to see the whole team come through the concourse with the trophy, high-fiving everybody like we were on the field, and just getting to see all of our heroes up close. And, I mean, it was a moment. I mean, everybody, I mean, just I couldn't even believe it. It was a big thrill for everybody, and for them to go all the way through and around through the hog pen and out to the pond. It was just, but I mean, getting to high five Zach and Chuck and I mean Wahiba, and I was like, oh my God, the whole team. It was so special. So special. I about died.
Jackie, where were you sitting? You mentioned a couple different places. Where were you sitting for today's game?
I was in section 110, the whole game. I was standing, actually, the whole game. I got there at noon and stood for 6 hours by this pole. But it was so worth it to see the whole game there, and fantastic, mind-blowing.
Well, Jackie, it sounds like you had a fantastic night. We appreciate you calling in here in Hog Reaction. Enjoy it. This will be something you can reminisce about for a long, long time, and just getting to experience that firsthand in Baum Walker
This
Stadium.
is our year. This is our year. We're going to get it for Dave.
Amen.
This is our year. There's no stopping us now. This is the team. And go Hogs.
Go Hogs.
We're going to Omaha.
We're going to Omaha.
That's right, baby.
And we're going to another segment after this.
Competing kind of blacked out, so I can't answer that for you. Don't remember.
You're listening to Hog Reaction. Our exclusive coverage of the 2025 Fayetteville Super Regionals is brought to you by ASU Mountain Home, First Star Bank, and by State Farm Insurance agent Heath Roberts.
You think he's not fired up? That's 3,005 RPM.
Up to $10,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off, or lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer EV with hands-free driving assistance and go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds for as low as $900 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
When you need tough and paint just isn't enough, check out River City Coatings in Van Buren. When it comes to your metals, paint can peel and crack over time. Whether it's your patio furniture, rims or trims on your automobile, or heavy equipment, no one has time for a redo. Powder coating provides the toughness you need. Preserve your investment with powder coating from River City Coatings. River City Coatings, certified John Deere, Caterpillar, ISO 9001, Packer, and UL provider of tough. River City Coatings, 471-7675 or online at rivercitycoatings.com.
This is Hog Reaction.
Need a little extra cash? Go see Rusty at Golden Gym Pond, 310 West Center in Greenwood. Get the money you need with loans on jewelry, guns, tools, and electronics. If you're looking for a gift, they have a large selection of jewelry to choose from, and Rusty can take care of all jewelry repair. Stop by Golden Gym Pond today, 310 West Center in Greenwood, or call 996-2792. Open 9 to 5:30 Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and 9 to 3 on Wednesday. Golden Gym Pond.
Up to $10,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off, or lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer EV with hands-free driving assistance and go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds for as low as $900 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
You've got the shoes, now finish the run strong. At True Grit Running Company, we've got the gear that goes the extra mile. Socks that fit and protect your feet and improve how the shoes fit, feel, and perform. Hydration bottles, packs, and belts to keep you going through the hot summer. And Ufos recovery sandals and shoes, your feet will thank you. Because running isn't just about the miles, it's about the details. Come see the gear at True Grit Running Company, where every step counts. 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Do you want to be home every weekend, use brand new equipment, and make a competitive salary? Then let me tell you about Lavorne Lumber.
They're looking to fill a regional over-the-road position. So if this sounds like a great next job opportunity for you,
call 479-646-4685. That's 646-4685.
515 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith and online at Lavorne, LOVVORN lumber.com.
Lavorne Lumber. Paying the bills, we'll take care of you.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com. Summer is finally here. Come check out Kofer's Boat Center's huge selection of boats with extra rebates for a limited time. Kofer's features low pontoons and fishing boats, Malibu and Axis wake surf boats, Caymas bass boats, and Kofer's has recently added the luxury line of Harris pontoons. Kofer's experienced professionals will answer all of your boating questions, and their award-winning customer service is second to none. Plus, they have the best boat storage option in town. Find them online at Kofers.com. That's COPATRS.com. Kofer's Boat Center, providing family fun since 1971.
A lot of life can happen between sips of Dasani. You know, the life moments, big and small, that are worth getting thirsty for. Like organizing a family movie night under the stars. Or hearing an old favorite song and having an impromptu dance party. Or finding a new dinner recipe that the whole family loves. The crisp, clean taste of Dasani was made for all of life's thirst-worthy moments. Dasani, because life happens between sips.
Listening to Hog Reaction. Our exclusive coverage of the 2025 Fayetteville Super Regionals is brought to you by ASU Mountain Home, First Star Bank, and by State Farm Insurance agent Heath Roberts.
The 1-2 to Maxwell. Hit in the air, left field, gonna carry. Going back is Bargo. Bargo's at the wall, he leaps here. A grand slam by Logan Maxwell. They have the turkey on the table. They've taken the biggest bite they can have. Maxwell with his 13th of the year, the 8th grand slam for the Homer and Hogs. 7-1.
This is Hog Reaction.
You know, I think we were all disappointed that we didn't win that game against Ole Miss in the tournament. I mean, we just didn't do anything. We got there, we worked out, we spend the night, we play, we lose, we come back. It's kind of like, did we even go? I mean, and we didn't play good. You know, we didn't, that first inning, we hadn't done that all year. But we had 2 double play balls. We didn't turn any of them. It turned it into what? 3 runs, 5 runs? I don't remember. Yeah. And so we were just chasing them the whole game. And, but it gave me the opportunity to talk about how one player, one pitch, I always talk about, can change the whole game. Yeah. To come back and focus in, because, you know, obviously the last couple of years, the team didn't focus in. They were drifting. Thinking about this, thinking about what am I going to be doing? Am I going to get drafted? Am I going to this? And this team, man, they stayed hooked up, locked up, and, you know, and we've talked about that, but they did it. You know, it's easy, and they're talented. It doesn't surprise me we won 5 in a row.
And that's Dave Van Horn really summing up the postseason thus far as Arkansas advances 11-4 past Tennessee to the College World Series. Our final segment here on Hog Reaction would not have been possible this Super Regional without Heath Roberts, my insurance agent at State Farm. You can give Heath a call, 479-452-4088. Listen, State Farm's a big name, but Heath is local right here in Arkansas and earned my business. Speaking of being here in Arkansas, that's where ASU Mountain Home is. They offer over 60 degrees and technical programs. It's affordable, and it was just recently named by WaldHub as the #1 community college in Arkansas. Visit asumh.edu. That's asumh.edu for more information. and by First Star Bank for all your first. Whether you're saving, borrowing, or planning, call your local First Star Bank branch today, your local hometown bank with all the digital tools.
Whenever I lost, maybe my dad did it to me, I was kind of a little punk.
And I'll give him credit. He didn't seem to be a little punk after today's loss. Took it like a man, took it on the chin, and congratulated Dave Van Horn and the rest of the players on that. Now, you heard Dave's thoughts about his players. What about his players' thoughts on just, hey, being the highest seed remaining, going up against the team you already beat, playing the SEC Pitcher of the Year? Here's Cam Kojal.
When you have a group of guys like we do, I don't think there's a lot of pressure. When you have a lot of really good kids, we really enjoy being around each other, sacrifice a lot with each other, putting a lot of time with each other. I don't know if there's really any pressure. It's playing a game we love, and we all have perspective about it. In 20 years, you don't want to look back and be like, oh, I was timid. I was soft. You want to go out there and sell out.
Yeah, you couldn't have said that better.
Well, he's been one of those guys that's been a huge part of why you've gotten to this point, Colton. Again, another great performance today from Cam Kojal, and now Arkansas's got a chance to likely play LSU here this Saturday. I'm going to guess prime time at around 6 o'clock.
The hometown kid wants to make some noise on the game's biggest stage in his hometown, and there's nothing wrong with that, and I'm happy that he gets an opportunity to. He has been really just fantastic for you all year long, playing first base, not even his natural position, having to be taught really how to play first base, not even knowing how to hold runners on, or some of the nuances that come with playing first base, and taking that in stride, still being able to produce at the plate, learn a new position, selflessly be able to, change your whole entire mindset as a player by changing positions, and then being able to slide right back into second base whenever things moved around again because of an injury to Nolan Souza. He's just a great player, and it's really a gem that you found in the transfer portal. And next year, if you can find a guy that's half as good as Camden Kojal, you'll be in a great position because he's everything that you want in a baseball player. Phil said it yesterday. He's one of the dirtiest players on the team in all the right ways, and that's exactly right. He scored on another wild pitch today because he found himself in that position. Worked a great at-bat against one of the best pitchers in all of college baseball, found himself with 2 singles today against Liam Doyle, and just the type of player that you want to see, the type of player that I know blue-collar Razorback fans and Arkansans can get behind because he's basically a native son at this point.
So I want to give everyone a sense of what our week looks like ahead here on ESPN Arkansas. So I couldn't tell you, Phil, and them with them playing a Saturday game, if they'll leave on Wednesday or even Tuesday to get ready. But the morning rush and halftime are going to be live from likely DJ's dugout or Charles Schwab Field. Kind of getting talking with Phil about that as we kind of set the tone for the week. Live from Omaha, Nebraska. We'll have post-game coverage and pre-game coverage like we've had these last 2 weeks for the Super Regional and the Regional Excel. So really excited about that. Again, if you put 2 and 2 together, Arkansas plays on Saturday. They're going to play LSU. Just assume they're going to play at 6 o'clock Saturday night. That's the biggest program brand maybe in all of college baseball. That's where they're going to put the Tigers Saturday night against your Arkansas Razorbacks. So not only do you have to play an SEC team, you play one of your biggest rivals in all of college baseball. So it should be fun. Again, I've said this multiple times, but I'm under the assumption that LSU is going to move on past West Virginia and advance past the Baton Rouge Super Regional. Colton, anything else important as we wrap things up here on ESPN Arkansas? Anything else worth noting before we call it quits here tonight?
Just thought the Razorbacks executed their game plan absolutely to perfection. It was to go out there and do all that you could do to not chase the high fastball that Liam Doyle was going to offer to you. Try your best to make sure that you got him out of the game early by getting to him, working that pitch count up, and then from there, just playing the same baseball that you played all season long. The Razorbacks were extremely self-assured today, and not even a top 10 draft pick could knock them off their spot. This team could be the team of destiny, and I'm excited to watch them.
That's, again, like how you just put it, Liam Doyle. He didn't even make it 4 innings.
75 pitches, and he had to work for every single one of them.
Yes. And Arkansas's track record against great SEC pitchers continues. Singer, Skeens, Doyle, David Wright, Ethan Small. I mean, there's a lot of quality pitchers, and they go up against a lot of guys in the SEC that are great. But SEC Pitcher of the Year, it's pretty elite. It's elite category. and the Razorbacks continue to beat up on those guys. All right, that's going to do it here for Hog Reaction. Again, full slate of shows ahead. Chuck and Bo get going at 6 a.m., followed by the Morning Rush. Tommy's back. I know he's excited to talk all things Hogs. He was in attendance for today's 11-4 win. Phil, I know, is going to be jazzed up and giddy to tell you more about this game. Break it down as good as anyone. Starting at 11 o'clock with Matt Jones. And then Ruskin and Zach, I think that they'll talk baseball. We'll have to wait and see. For Colton Little, I'm Ty Richardson. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday night. Arkansas heading back to Omaha, Nebraska for the 8th time under Dave Van Horn. What an ending for this baseball team in the Fayetteville Super Regional.
Competing kind of blacked out, so I can't answer that for you. Don't remember.
You're listening to Hog Reaction. Our exclusive coverage of the 2025 Fayetteville Super Regionals is brought to you by ASU Mountain Home, First Star Bank, and by State Farm Insurance agent Heath Roberts.
You think he's not fired up? That's 3